What is going on YouTube? So, did a short on the KTM 300 XCW the other day. We're going to talk a little bit about this bike. Obviously still got the Husky. Just posted some footage of riding that yesterday. But this thing, this is the freaking lemon flavored pumpkin. So, what is up with this bike? Where did it come from? What am I doing with it? I'm gonna answer all that right now. So this is my 06 KTM 300 XCW. I got this bike on a trade for a 2014 Calyx 250 that was bored out with the Bill Blue big bore kit. Honestly, wasn't an even trade. Bike was worth a lot more, but whatever. Don't really care. I wanted a carbed 300, so I got a carbed 300. And I like to work on projects. So this is it. This bike definitely had a top end done on it at some point. If you look at the cases, the bottom of the case, and it might be hard to tell because I have ridden this bike, although the jug itself is quite a bit cleaner, where it was vapor honed at some point. So, and he said that it had a top end. I pulled the piston, or pulled the pipe, and the piston looks super clean. So I'm not too stressed. Definitely had a top end at some point. Up there is that oversized Clark tank, and I don't like oversized tanks, so I ripped that off. Bought a used tank off freaking Fleabay, and for $90 threw the stock tank back on there because I prefer it. And yeah, this bike just got brand new tires. I put new rear wheel bearings in it. I have a new seat cover that is coming tomorrow. Put new tires on it. I'm gonna try out the Tusk Talons. So it has a hybrid in the rear and the standard in the front. 80, 121, 110, 118. New grips. I don't really like the way I cut them though. I should have just cut out the ends, but wasn't thinking. The front shocks or front forks leak, so those are gonna have to get resealed. Maybe new bushings, we'll see. But I'll worry about that later. It needed a new brake line. The first time I went on rode it, the rear brake line got a pinhole right here as it goes into the banjo fitting. So I had no rear brake that day. So got a brand new brake line. This was missing, this little dampener piece that connects the expansion chamber to the frame. What else? The airbox. So someone had a filter cage that was for, I believe, the KTM 4-stroke of the following generation. Should be sitting in here. Yeah, so it's right here. So if you look at the part numbers, focus. 54806560000. Well, that part number is one part number off from the correct filter cage. It has the correct filter cage in there now, but what was in there was not correct. So the filter cage didn't ever seal properly. because it was for the freaking 4-stroke. Had no kickstand when I got it, so just got a kickstand now. It does fully extend, it's just hitting the stand. Got new fuel line because the original line would have been too short for the new, or the original tank when you put it on there. For the love of fucking God, please do not put these chain adjuster blocks with the hardware in your bike. I don't know what was wrong with the original chain adjuster blocks. I don't know why someone would swap them out or think that these are better. If you look, these are those like $12 to $20 notched ones. Do not fucking put these in there. They were fucking seized, and like when I got the bike, this one was like halfway, it was like half of the threads were in here, and the other side was about the same length as this. So the whole freaking wheel was cocked like that. Oh. So, literally, the first time I rode this thing, all I did was get the rear brakes working, or not the rear brakes working. I did front brakes pads because those were absolutely toast. And the rear brake, I'm pretty sure was leaking, and it blew out when I rode it. So I'm glad I did fucking front brake pads because those were trash. Did that, fixed the chain adjusters, and did rear wheel bearings because those were fucking toast as well. But yeah, I got this thing from a 16-year-old kid, so it explains why the hell the thing was fucking absolutely whooped. Another thing was that the speedometer didn't work. He said, he's like, oh, it needs an hour meter. And I was like, what are you talking about? It has one on there. So it turns on now because I put a fucking battery in it. But for a while, it wasn't actually registering any speed. And that was just because and then I just cleaned the magnet. So just check for broken wires and then just make sure the magnet's there. Because if this turns off and I spin the wheel, it'll come back on just like the Husky will. So yeah, this is the Turd the lemon flavored pumpkin. He was mixing 40 to 1 in it, and I mixed up some 50 to 1. It's blended right now. I'm just gonna burn out what's in there, and I'll just continue to run 50 to 1. So, oh yeah, the clutch lever, yeah, that was bent all the way to shit. And I hate these fucking handguards, but I like having handguards, so I'm gonna run these for now. Although I do want the same ones that are on the Husky eventually. They're just freaking expensive. I just don't like any handguard that is flat out like this. I like having it cut, like divot in, because I like to rest my hands on the outside of the bars. That's just a me thing. Otherwise, I mean, this bike actually runs like really freaking good. The pipe wasn't seated all the way, it just had a bunch of crap like built up around the header. So now it actually seats all the way, and just, yeah, something's up. The pipe's bent to shit, and I think it hits the fucking radiator hose, so I'm just gonna leave that there for now. It had a crack in the header right here, so took the pipe off, welded it, ground it down. Someone at some point welded it down there as well. I like to think mine's came out a little bit more inconspicuous. I wouldn't say it's a pretty weld, but I think it's more inconspicuous than theirs. They did no cleanup, but that other one's on the bottom, and I'm not gonna mess with it. Especially since the bike runs fairly freaking decent. But because of the header did not seat all the way, it had a lot of like blow by out the exhaust flange. So cleaned up the header, re-O-ringed it, greased the O-rings, seated the pipe properly. Bike actually ran better than when I test rode it from doing that. And then it ran a hell of a lot better when I got the freaking airbox or the air filter to see properly. So, but yeah, here's the Orange Flame Turd. All the stuff I've done with it so far. I did set the suspension back to factory because the suspension clickers were way out there. Like the rebound was completely bound in for some fucking reason. Someone like tightened that up as much as it could go, and then on the rear shock, and then the fronts were just kind of didn't make sense, like the way they were adjusted. So reset everything back to the original factory settings beside the right rebound adjuster, which actually fucking snapped on me, so I need to adjust that. But I was able to get it close to where I wanted it prior to it snapping. It sucks that it snapped. So when I rebuild the forks, I'm gonna fucking fix that. But yeah, the lemon flavored turd runs decent enough and starts first kick, so I'm gonna keep riding it. And maybe keep it. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna try to take it on next weekend. Took the Husky out. Got some good riding footage on this old girl or new girl. Riding this thing's like fucking cheating, especially compared to this. This thing's a fucking pile of junk. But we'll see how it performs with actual working rear brakes and decent tires. So, cool. Let me know if you guys enjoy these little shop talks. I'll keep making more of them. If not, I'll just keep pumping out riding footage. Later.